some maybe some tips or maybe some pointers for people who may not know what the heck automatic writing is. I mean, when I was growing up doing this work, and I think they still call it in psychology free association writing. So in our field or our terms, it's called automatic writing. So what is automatic writing?
Automatic writing is when the energy of the person and spirit commingle through meditation. And what I use is a very soft pencil, because as it goes across the surface of the paper, you don't want the friction, so you don't want to use like a ballpoint pen, you don't want to use a felt marker. And you'll know when spirit commingles, because you're going to feel the electricity in your hand. And when spirit learns to write through you, don't expect big words right away.
Right.
It takes a while. It may be like little doodles, little scribbles, but the more, like anything else, a music lesson, the more you do it, the more accomplished you become. And I remember my very first automatic writing that I was successful in. I was watching TV and I just had a pad of paper and a pencil, and all of a sudden my hand started moving on its own. It's like, oh shit.
Right.
And so it said, go outside. And I said, go outside? And it said, go now. So I got up off the couch, went outside, and and the message said, see the cold car. I went outside. My neighbor across the street and 2 doors down was in a gold car.
Oh, wow.
Pulling out. So I said, oh, I believe you now. So I came back in and it continued to write, and it said, go to the library at 9 o'clock at night. I don't think so.
Wow.
And so I said, well, I can't go. Can I go another day? And they said, yes. And they said, get a book on the angels. And I said, well, how will I know what book it is? And they did a doodle. Well, 2 days later, I went to a Barnes & Noble, which is kind of like a library.
Right.
And you know how, I'm sure with you go into a bookstore and your eyes meet
Just
on
be
a book
caught,
and you
right?
just pull it out? Well, it was called Connecting with Your Spirit Guides, and when I pulled it off the shelf, it was the doodle that I did.
Oh
So
my
I knew
gosh,
it,
wow.
I knew it was the right book.
Wow.
And then I just set aside on a Sunday, white candle, Our Father. I would write the question first, leaving spaces, and then ask Spirit, and Spirit would give me the answers. And what I like about doing it the old-fashioned way is when a new spirit comes in, the handwriting changes.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot with mediums, and even mediums who are even doing readings for clients. Some of them still continue to write or channel the information, and all that information will change, meaning their characteristic, the traits, even their personality, even the doodles they draw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even stuff that they wouldn't normally write. It's not even their verbiage. I mean, that's the amazing part of it.
And they always will write in your point of reference. So
Right.
people will say, well, how come this word is misspelled? Well, it's because that's how you spell
it, right?
Yeah.
That's how I've spelled it,
So they
not how
won't
the other
fix it.
person spelled it.
Yeah, they won't
Right.
fix it for you.
Right.
They do in your point of reference.
Absolutely, because it's almost like spirit trying to use the vocal cords.
Exactly.
You know, we were talking about earlier in the beginning of the show where you go through transfiguration, they start having the overlay on the body. I mean, spirit needs to learn how to work with the body. I mean, it's almost like them stepping into, it's like me working on a car, which I do not know how to work on a car. I can't probably just change my oil and change my tires. I don't know anything about the engine. I can't take it apart. So there's a part of it, like spirit, they have to get used to the body. They have to get used to using how the body works. I mean, it may take months or maybe weeks for a person to learn how to speak or how the vocals come through.
Exactly.
There's another area we can talk to, which is using a mediumship trumpet. I mean, there's so many ways we can go with this that can make people go, wow, that's interesting, or wait, I need to know more about this.
You know, and even talking about the trumpet, for over 20 years, every Tuesday, you know, religiously, I had a group of mediums in the house to sit in development circle. And we would have the trumpet out. And when we would go into altered states, people would actually begin to see mist coming out of my mouth as I was going into trance.
Wow.
Is that
Now,
ectoplasm?
for those though, that do not know what a trumpet is, can you explain what a trumpet is?
A trumpet looks like a cheerleader megaphone. And they come in various sizes. You want them to be light. And in the days of mediumship or spiritualism, when they would have the seance sessions,
Right.
they would ask spirit to show them signs. And these things would actually take flight and move
Like,
about. Bells would ring, you know, you would see mist or people even beginning to throw ectoplasm, which is like in the movie Ghostbusters,
right?
the slime.
Slimer,
That's
right?
what it is.
Well, a lot of people, I always tell people, you know, Slimer, he's ecto. Like, he's not just a ghost. They go, really? I go, yeah, that's what all that gooey stuff is. That's what a medium produces, is that ecto, that nasty, slimy stuff. And, you know, it's hard to capture or to be studied on. I mean, one of the greatest people of all time is, who has been documented, gagged and bound, who is still up on his foundation, Leslie Flint. Amazing medium. I mean, he's been put to the test like crazy, and still people don't believe it. And that's the sad part.
And it's really tough on the body.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I had a noted medium say, you know, with your physical mediumship, you have to be careful because it works on your pancreas and your liver.
Right.
And, you know,
Why?
you tend to go, it's just all the hormones, I guess, that are released.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I at one point came down with some problems, pre-diabetes. So
Wow.
it does take a toll on your body, and that's why I think a lot of mediums don't want to move in that direction.